Mr. Speaker, and I would like to start with congratulating my colleague Paul Goldsmith for excellent bill which was drawn from the ballot. Talking about the last speaker and saying that this government is not looking after the public, but I would like to say that this government has delivered so much in last 5.5 years that the country can be proud of. Mr. Speaker, the bill that we are discussing here today may seem small and compact, like technology most of us in New Zealand use today. However, its impact on all of us is likely to be very important. Here I would like to clarify that with the changing technology, the things are getting smaller and smaller, and this bill is a small but has got huge impact on the business community. Mr. Speaker, if we look at the number of postal deliveries in last decade or so, they are decreasing because of the technology. Nowadays, everyone is communicating through the emails, through the SMS, and through the other resources available today, which were not available a few years ago. Mr. Speaker, there is a little doubt that our reliance on internet is increasing day by day. We use the internet for almost everything. Well, almost from checking our emails, to paying our bills, to completing our banking, and for our business transactions. It is essential to ensure that the new technology being used to do business and its route in the time-tested way for transacting and running businesses. What I mean to say, Mr. Speaker, is that the technology is here to help us do business at a faster pace. However, it is our duty to ensure that all due diligence is employed before using this technology. This bill specifically does that for the consumers, Mr. Speaker. It removes the uncertainty around the legal position on the time which a contract is offered and accepted via electronic communication. As my colleague, Honourable Chris Tremaine mentioned, that a lot of things nowadays are being done electronically. One of those is the renewal of passport. Above 125,000 people have renewed their passports online, and turnaround is three days turnaround, which has effectively 3 days turnaround. It is renewed in 3 days, and 125,000 people have used this facility since introduced in 2012. Mr. Speaker, contracts are an essential part of doing business. Contracts are the legal framework that facilitate trade and commerce, and contracts are evidence to all the parties that a transaction has taken place, and all the parties that are part of this transaction have certain obligation to fulfill as part of their contractual agreement. A contract, Mr. Speaker, as well as all known from our experience, also acts as hedge against any surprises or misunderstandings that may occur after the product or services that contract pertains to have been delivered. Thereby, this piece of paper protects all the parties involved in the transactions. What's that? No, it is allowed. There is nothing like stopping me from reading a speech. All the members, you need to do that. You need to object to the speaker about that, and every member speaks in this house by reading. As I said during the first reading, Mr. Speaker, the bill, Mr. Speaker, times have changed, and we are living in a digital world, so our laws are to be updated. We have to update the laws that are obsolete. Yeah, I can speak for 10 minutes, half an hour, Mr. Speaker, in Hindi. Can this member understand this? I don't think so. So that's why, for her convenience, I am reading. I'm making sure that she can understand what I am speaking. This bill by my colleague, Mr. Paul Goldsmith, does that. The clause of the bill amended the Electronic Transaction Act by inserting new section 32A. The above amendment clarifies formation of contract when the acceptance of the offer is made through electronic communication. For example, Mr. Speaker, currently, as soon as a contract is posted, the regulation states that the contract has been established. At the present, this regulation does not cover contract accepted electronically. For example, if a person accepts a job offer by email, then there is no legal certainty over when the contract was created. In bygone eras, before emails, there was a term titled Postal Acceptance Rule. This rule created a directive where an offer was deemed to be accepted when the acceptance was posted. Over the years, the rule has been extended to include telegraph, but has not been held to apply acceptance of telephonic, telex, or fax. In this modern time, when emails and smartphones are in regular use, it is important that the current legislation is amended to cover such areas. Currently, there is no mandate on acceptance by email, which is practically immediate, and the person who sends the email is usually in the best position to know whether it has been delivered or not. With the government focused on the building a more competitive and productive economy in the 21st century, the global world we live in, there is little doubt that all of us use internet to do business and transact online ever more than we do currently. With this in mind, this national-led government is working to ensure our public service makes the most of the online service, and we are rolling out ultra-fast broadband. However, our law needs to ensure that all parties who are involved in an electronic transaction, be it a business or a consumer, know that the obligation are after they have electronically offered and accepted contract for the product or a service. The Electronic Transaction Contract Formation Amendment Bill recognizes we live in an internet age. It amends the Electronic Transaction Act to allow certainty to those who choose to accept a contract electronically. I support this bill and congratulate Paul Goldsmith on his initiative in bringing this bill to the House. And with this, I conclude my speech today.
Dr. David Clark.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.